You aren't bored. You just haven't found your purpose yet. The whole idea of a purpose, and it doesn't matter what it actually is, what kind of purpose, project, thing that you want to work on or get into, as long as you have something, it will massively benefit your life. It will help with how you manage your day, your week, and how you look forward to the things that you are going to be doing. You are going to be a lot more cautious on how you spend your time because you have something that you want to work on or have started working on. Having a purpose creates more of a balance in your life than you realize. Having a purpose or a project of sorts allows us to navigate our life much better. As I've mentioned, this purpose, this project, it can be absolutely anything you want it to be, because if you've always thought a certain hobby or activity seemed interesting, but you just never took that initial step to go ahead and get into it, now is the time. What is stopping you? Apart from yourself. For all you know, you could join this activity, sport, hobby, whatever it may be, and you'll find something that you're going to enjoy for the rest of your life. I know that's pretty optimistic, but let's just say it might not work out the first time. Let's just say you try 4 different things, and on the 5th one, you find that thing, the thing that you're just going to have for the rest of your life. What have you really lost? Not that much. Maybe you have to pay a little bit of money to get started into certain things, but money comes back, time doesn't. And in my eyes, learning about yourself and spending time doing something you didn't end up enjoying is actually a positive thing. In the long run, it's actually helpful, because now you know you don't like it, instead of sitting there thinking maybe that you do. And instead, every single time you find something you don't like, you get closer to finding the thing that you do. A sense of purpose will help you with setting yourself goals, and ultimately I believe we all need some form of goal. Doesn't matter how big or small, doesn't matter how significant or insignificant it is, we just need something. This could be going out and meeting people more often because you don't do it as much as you should. It could be writing your very first book. It could be creating a business. It does not matter. The whole point is that you need something to aim for. Once you do find your purpose or the hobby that you want to join in on or the project that you want to work on, it just naturally creates order in your life. Because once you figure out what you want to do, you're going to have a much clearer image in your head as to how you want to go about it. Because let's say one of the things that you want to do is read more often. So you could say, okay, Monday, Wednesday and Friday from 7 till 8, I'm going to put down my phone, I'm going to drop what it is that I'm doing, within reason obviously, and I'm going to pick up a book and I'm going to read for 1 hour. That is all you need to start. If you wanted to, you could even do 15 minutes every day or every other day. The whole idea is that you set it out in a way that fits your life and your schedule. Because it's all good and well sitting and saying, right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to completely smash it out the park, and then you get to your first day and you realise how difficult it is, and you just end up disappointing yourself. So start small, set clear, small goals for yourself with your new thing, purpose, project, whatever it is that you've chosen, and stick to it. Be as consistent as you possibly can. Of course, there are going to be days where that's just not going to be possible. That is fine. Just do it the next day. And if you can't do it the next day, do it the day after that. The whole idea is just whenever you are able to do it again, you actually come back and do it. And that way, you will always remain consistent no matter what. Aside from your newfound purpose, setting some form of consistency and structure in your week, you will find that you're going to respect your own time a lot more. And I think that's an incredible thing to realize, because too many people waste their time on things they shouldn't be wasting on. And I'm not saying by any means that you need to be incredibly efficient and live like a robot all the time, because that's just not possible and just not human. But once you start respecting your time a lot more, you're going to be spending it a lot more wisely. And I believe you're going to start giving it a lot more thought as to who you spend your time with as well. Because sometimes it is much better to turn around and say, no, I'm not spending time with this or that person or those people as a whole, and just spend it with yourself, on your own thing, on your own projects, on the things that you actually want to work on, or just simply enjoy in your own company. Sometimes you're going to find that when you do your thing, your project, purpose, you are going to be doing it alone. And that is fine, because you have to understand that sometimes you have to reject the idea of being accepted or conforming to the standard, because at times we really do have to go off to the sides where not many people are in order to do the things that actually make us happy, rather than doing the things that everybody else does and join in on them for the sake of just joining in on them. Having a purpose or your own thing, sometimes it's as simple as just, I feel better now, I'm enjoying my days a little more. And those little wins and adjustments throughout your weeks, months, they're going to add up, and eventually you're going to see this massive change in your mood, your outlook, your ideologies, and things really do start to shift. Because when you aim to conform and just follow the crowd, you never really get to experience who you are as a person. Because life is, you want to find yourself, you want to find who you are, you want to find what ticks, what makes you smile, what makes you laugh so hard your jaw hurts. You want to find those things. But when you're just following along, yeah, you might have good times here and there, but ultimately that's going to be decided by who you're with and where you go, rather than yourself. Because when you decide that for yourself, you choose where to go, you choose how you do things. And when you mess up, you mess up. When you don't, and you just go from there, and you figure it out as you go along. Because figuring it out is also one of the beautiful things about developing and finding yourself and your purpose. So stop blindly conforming to everybody else and enjoy the idea of not being accepted. Because, truth be told, you can't. Trying to please everybody is impossible. I don't believe there's anybody in this world that is liked by everyone. Even the nicest person you know is going to be disliked by someone because they don't like the fact of how nice they are. So the fact that you're just trying to fit in for the sake of fitting in is actually just obstructing your own growth and potentially even your own happiness. And you might not realize that now. If those people were to disappear, they dropped you, you will very quickly find yourself wondering as to what to do. And now imagine you had your own purpose, which you worked on here and there as your schedule permitted, and those people disappeared. Yes, there'll be a shift and a change in your life, but you still have something to fall back on, something that you're working on, and there's always going to be that order in your days and weeks. And eventually, new people are going to appear. You're going to find new people. You're going to find a new person through the idea of finding yourself through your purpose. You actually end up forgetting about quite a few things. Not in a bad way, because when you are focused and you're in the flow and you're enjoying the work, you get into it deeply, you end up forgetting about the negative things. You suddenly can't remember about the thing that made you angry, about the thing that upset you, about the thing you're anxious about, because you have something you are focused on. And when you're able to point your focus at something that's important, you really do end up forgetting about certain negative things. Of course, they don't just magically go away and disappear, but you're able to put them to the side for a moment, which can actually sometimes make you realize that they aren't as big of a deal as they seem. We still obviously have to accept the negative things that happened or on our mind, and eventually, we have to sort them out. We can't just keep pushing them off to the side. With certain things, it will work because they actually aren't a big deal and we shouldn't be thinking about them in the first place. So when you have something to focus on, you can focus and forget, but not permanently. You still have to come back to it. Detach yourself from the everyday. Forget about the meaningless tasks that go on and happen non-stop around you. Deeply focus and go in on that one thing that you wanted to start and just see the magic happen. Because like we've mentioned, if it fails and you end up just not liking it at all, that is still fine, because you have learned something about yourself that you can then apply later on. And with your new profound knowledge, you can move on and find something different. Either way, even just searching for a purpose actually gives you a purpose already before you've even started on anything. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something new. If you did, leave a like, and even better, subscribe. It really does help me out, and I really, really appreciate it a lot. Last week, we spoke about making choices and how every time you do, you pay a price for something else. So I'm going to leave that up on the screen right here. And I think that it'll be perfect to watch after this video, because the two topics really do go hand in hand. So, and as always, I'll see you next week.